That being said, I mean, I've had people now with 9-figure net worths reach out, finding me through YouTube. I mean, I've had a 110 million, 130 million. I mean, they're people that they have such high net worths. Like, I guess I'm kind of shocked by this, that they're on YouTube and they're booking calls with me from watching my videos. That all you have to do is get one client from doing this, and that covers like a year's worth of content.
You're still under 300 subscribers. The average views on your channel for each of these long form videos, do you have an idea of what they are?
200 to 300. You know, I get anywhere from 5 to 10 inbound leads, meetings booked a week now. The ones that come from YouTube are much warmer. Maybe it's hours saved on my end by having someone like you.
All right, we're back with another client spotlight interview. I'm here with Samuel. Want him to say what's up to everybody. What's going on, Samuel? How are you?
What's up? I'm good. How are you doing?
Good, good. Could you briefly describe to everybody just what your business is and what you do?
Sure. I'm a financial advisor. I run an independent RIA, and my focus is on tax planning and tax efficient investing.
Cool. Now, could you share where you were before and after working with us, just in terms of AUM, leads generated, just anything that you feel is applicable?
Sure. I guess starting with AUM, I was at around 30 million when we started together. I've now passed 100 million in AUM. To be fair, I would say it's been split pretty evenly between LinkedIn and YouTube being the sort of sources of where people find me. However, I will say, you know, I get anywhere from 5 to 10 inbound leads, meetings booked a week now. The ones that come from YouTube are much warmer. They're much more up to speed on what I do and what my approach is. And my guess for the reason why is it's just longer form. There's only so much I can put in a text post on LinkedIn, whereas, like, you know, when people are watching my 10 to 20 minute videos on YouTube, they seem to get a lot more out of them.
Yeah. Could you kind of talk about what your process for YouTube was like before you were working with this? Because you did have a couple videos up, and then I guess could you share if there was any change? Like, were you getting leads before? Were you not? And what did that look like?
Yeah. I mean, anyone can just look at my channel and see the difference before. When I was on my own first starting working with you, I would say before, just on the emotional piece, felt very confused, overwhelmed, and unsure were all the things I was feeling before starting to work with you. No idea what I was doing, just kind of like starting to record, making goofy thumbnails on my own. I did get a few inbounds from that. And then I have had people that, you know, that they watch the videos. Even if they found me through LinkedIn, they say, oh, I watched your videos. But I would describe now I have more structure, a plan, and then so much has been taken off of my plate when it comes to the parts of YouTube that I don't understand that you and your team handle. I mean, it's like proof is in the pudding. Like, for anyone that wants to look at my channel, just the night and day difference. And then I would say the kind of recurring inbound meetings that are being booked from the videos now is different than when I just started on my own.
Yeah. So you said just confused, overwhelmed, a bunch of not good stuff. But what were some of the challenges specifically that you faced before that made it so difficult that we were able to come help with?
Okay. Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. I would say a weakness, something I struggle with, that working with people that their full-time job is content and lead gen, like someone like you, has really been helpful in making the content tailored to like problem solution, what is important for ideal clients of mine. I have a tendency to ramble on and get into the weeds, and I come from an investment background, and I love getting super detailed. I think that's something that's been very helpful for me, is like sort of the objective third party, you know, that's you, that comes in and says, like, hold on, like, these videos are too long. You're getting too far into the weeds. Like, let's circle back to high level. Like, a lot of the people watching don't understand the words you're saying. I guess coaching. I get the best way of describing that is like coaching from someone like you on how to get all these wonderful ideas and things I want to say and get across, but like make them much more digestible for sort of those ideal people that are seeing my content.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. So, could you talk about the time commitment piece? Like, what responsibilities do you have? What are we taking care of? How's that different from doing it yourself?
Yeah, I would say it takes me now like 30 minutes to film a video, which is good. I think it'll keep getting better. The first time I think it took me 45 minutes because it was hard and you get better at it. I would say the all the scripting that you do ahead of time, maybe it's hours saved on my end by having someone like you that not only is doing a good job with the scripting because you're good at content and marketing, but you also work with other financial advisors and understand how to speak our language and make the scripts really, really good. I would say I probably spend anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes sort of filling in or making changes to the scripts that you kind of originate come up with, and then sort of I dial in some of the things that I want to add or touch on. So all in, I think it takes less than an hour to produce a good high quality long form YouTube video now.
Cool. Let's talk a little bit more. I want to take a step back to lead quality. You said that the YouTube leads seemed a little bit more warm, and I think you correctly guessed why. And this is something that we talked about too. Just like they're able to see so much more of you if they watch 20, 30, 40 minutes of your content as opposed to just catching a little snippet. But I think this is important for some people out there to hear. Your channel right now, when I last checked, you're still under 300 subscribers. The average views on your channel for each of these long form videos, do you have an idea of what they are?
200 to 300.
And you have, we did 7 that we put out together so far, and you have about maybe another 5 or 6 before that. So you've got about a dozen YouTube videos up on a pretty new channel with like less than 300 subs. Could you talk about the type of lead that you're getting book in from YouTube, just like what their qualifications are, with it being kept front of mind, like what your channel is?
Yeah, you have me scripting, and I think it's smart in it saying, I work with people with this AUM or this asset level. That being said, I mean, I've had 2 people now with 9-figure net worths reach out, finding me through YouTube. I mean, I've had a few, one 10 million, one 30 million. I mean, they're people that they have such high net worths. Like, I guess I'm kind of shocked by this, that they're on YouTube. Like, they're looking to learn more about what they can do with their investing and financial planning. I don't know. Like, a lot of people told me, oh, like, you're wasting your time. Anyone with that level of net worth, like, they already have advisors, or if they don't, like, they're not looking for advisors. And that couldn't be further from the truth. My experience has been that people in those, what we would call like ultra high net worth categories, they're on YouTube and they're booking calls with me from watching my videos.
Yeah, and to be fair, that's a testament to just how strong your content, your background, and your message is. That's something that I could never do for you, but I can help you package that and put it in the best light possible with a winning format and a winning strategy. So, because I think there's a lot of other people that, their channel could be at the same stats, but they're not booking those types of leads. But it does go to say, like you said, those people are on YouTube. And if you have a good strategy and you actually have something of value to share and you're good at what you do, you can just book meetings with people that have 9-figure net worths, and you don't need to be viral. You don't need 10,000 subscribers or thousands of views. You can have a small new channel with the right messaging and strategy and get the highest possible quality lead that you could think of. And I think that,
Apparently, yeah, I was shocked by it, but yeah.
yeah, I have to tell that to pretty much everybody that I work with, even people that aren't advisors in every other niche. Some of my best clients, they don't have a ton of videos over 1,000 views. They'll get a couple, and it's happened where we've had videos pop off for clients, but their revenue numbers and what they're generating from YouTube tells a totally different story from what you might assume if you're just going off vanity metrics like views, subscriber count, etc. But I think that's important for people to hear, so I love
Yeah.
that. Now, just based on everything so far, based on how content's been going for you, because you've also been doing a push with short form content and LinkedIn. I mean, your LinkedIn was pretty dialed, I think, already. But where do you see your content taking your business in the next 6 to 12 months?
I don't know. I mean, I'm part of that. I want you to coach me and help me. I don't know. I think what I'm doing is working. I just want to do more of it. I don't think there's any like big changes or anything I plan on making. It's just I guess it's just math. Like if you book X, inbound meetings a week and I close 20% of them, if I double the amount of people doing, booking calls, then I double my client sort of acquisition period. But I don't know. I'm super open to, I guess, like we're going to go off topic here, but open to like other ideas or businesses that you can do just purely with content. I don't know if most of your clientele stay in their business niche and this is just marketing for the core business, or if over time they sort of evolve or develop other offerings that like the
Oh yeah.
content sort of broadens out and then it's a wider funnel to figure out what kind of problems people need. Because unfortunately, I'm accumulating a lot of people that don't have, $5 million that like I can't really work with in this capacity, or even just like other financial advisors following me that I haven't quite figured out what to do with that.
Yeah, that's tricky, and it really depends. And we talked about that a little bit off camera before. We could talk more, but just to anybody listening, just I do think that is relevant. Where content is extremely powerful, and as much as your messaging is dialed in, you're still going to get people that aren't ready, or they're just at some other stage of the funnel, or they're just in like a similar ICP. Like they're not somebody that you would sign as a client, but they're another advisor that may very well want to buy consulting from you, right? And that's something we kind of talked about. I think that when you start building out YouTube, most people are overwhelmed by just who's on there. And if you look at the stats from Google, I mean, which Google owns YouTube for those who don't know, billions of people. I don't know if billions, but close to it. A large percentage of the population is on YouTube from every age bracket, every demographic. So you're going to get a wide variety of people, even if you dial in your messaging. Pretty much the way that I like to say it is you want to have an offer stack. You could keep one
Mm.
main channel. If you want to launch a different business or a different offer, that might call for launching a new channel, specifically on YouTube, but it might not. You might be able to ascend people up different steps of a ladder, right? And I know people that have consulting, but they also have some sort of service-based business, and they do use one channel for that. Totally depends on the person. But I just got off the phone with one of my other clients, Cade, who we talked about. He's a affiliate marketing coach, mainly focused on TikTok Shop, to be clear. And he started getting on calls in the last week or two with brands, not people that want to be affiliates that he's going to coach, which we promote on his channel. But he's booking calls with brands doing 30, 40, 50 million a year and more that have a high need for UGC creatives, content, and they're willing to pay a lot of money for that. And because Cade has a few dozen students that are top affiliates for these brands already, he's getting a lot of warm intros. They're referring these brand owners to his YouTube as his main business card. And then he has a pitch deck where he, has his own personal stats and how many times he's gone viral, how much revenue he's driven for brands. But that's a whole new offer that we didn't launch and don't really position him for on YouTube, but it's related. So the YouTube channel, we've been posting 8 videos a month for the last 6 months or so. And we launched the channel back in January. It's September 30th now. That is a whole entire year worth of high quality content and results that is enough to get him up market with these brands. So to your point, to kind of end that little tangent, yeah, YouTube is super powerful. Content is powerful in general, and you never know who's watching. And
Mm.
you don't have to box yourself in, even if your content just focuses on one thing. Right.
So I guess how, if you were me, would you answer the question you just asked? Like, how do you see my content evolving, or what would you encourage me to do over
I
the
like
next six
that.
to 12 months?
I like that. Keep making YouTube videos for one. Right? I mean, I think that's like at the core of the strategy. But like you said, more of what's working, because we've only got 7 videos up for you. I think we got another few in the tank right now that I'm waiting to get back to you in your hands. But we still have quite a few ideas that we could rip through that are really good for the strategy that we're running now. And it's nothing for us to start throwing in there some things about you helping out other advisors, because
Mm.
you're getting a lot of advisors reaching out to you, like we talked about, that want to know what you're doing because they see that content is working for you, that your LinkedIn looks good, your YouTube looks good, and if they see this video, they're probably going to hit you up even more, hopefully, right? So it's tough to say, but I think we have some clear indicators of what's working and where we can go, at least one or two steps ahead of us. So
Hmm.
that's what I would say specifically for you.
Makes sense.
I wanted to ask, that being said, if anybody is on the fence about working with me doing YouTube, what would you tell them?
Okay. What I did in my head, what got me over the edge was, what is your, if it's a $5 million client, what's the revenue? And what do you charge? I mean, like, give it, what would you say? Give it 3 months before giving up? Like, literally, with what you're charging, if your ideal client is, what, a $5 million client, like, it pays for itself. It's like, it's not even close. I guess in my head, that's what it was, is like the ultra high net worth wealth management is such a high ticket item that all you have to do is get one client from doing this, and that covers like a year's worth of content. But if you think about it, like, the content is permanent. Like, we're creating permanent content that sits on a channel, it doesn't go away. There's value to that. And then also in our world, like, retention is so high. You get a client, like, you didn't just make revenue for 1 year, it's for decades. So I mean, in my head, it was, I just will give this a shot. If I get one, literally all I need is one client, then it was a good investment, like positive ROI, and like I already surpassed that. So in my head, that's how I got over it.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. And as long as somebody has enough cash to be able to float I always give very conservative estimates, and depending on the person, what their niche is, their offer. Hey, look, you might post for 3, 6 months, maybe nothing happens. Could be rare that it's towards the end, but it could happen depending on what we're talking about, what type of videos we're making. But like you said, you invest in that content. One client could put you positive many times over for the year, and it's here for a long time. And that is what's different about YouTube. To be fair, if you go on Instagram or LinkedIn, yes, all of your content is still there. People can dig through your profile and see it. But you got a phone call? All right. Well,
Yeah, sorry.
having a YouTube channel is like having a Netflix. It's like a personal Netflix. It doesn't
Mm.
it doesn't matter how recent the video was most of the time. Somebody could go binge your YouTube and they could go back a full 6 months, and that information might still be relevant. And that happens in the algorithm where videos could be getting views and attracting attention, generating leads months down the line, especially if you know what you're doing and you run a couple strategies that we do. These don't really die out as quick compared to a Facebook post or an Instagram post or a LinkedIn post. Those algorithms are meant for faster consumption cycles, right? So most people on YouTube, you're doing one video a week. That's standard, and you can get great results with that. If people are really, really turbo boosting, we do 2 videos a week. That is not 7 days a week. There are people that do that, but that's few and far between, and that's definitely not required to
Mm.
succeed. So these videos have longer life cycles. Uh,
Hmm.
so I compare it to, like, if you go on Netflix and you want to watch a movie, you could scroll their catalog. That movie might have been put up on Netflix months ago. You just haven't seen it yet, but you're scrolling. You're looking for something, as opposed to when I open a LinkedIn feed, I'm not necessarily digging for something. I'm looking maybe for someone and their content, but the YouTube search engine kind of works like Google. So if I type, um, I don't know, what's something somebody would search in your niche? Financial planning
Tax
strategies.
Tax loss harvesting.
Yeah, like I want to learn about tax loss harvesting. They're basically putting in a Google search on YouTube for that, and you could rank that way, right? That's one of the ways people could find you on YouTube. You could then be recommended as a similar video if they're watching other tax loss harvesting videos. So the content does last a lot longer, to your point. So
And the client
yeah,
lasts longer. I mean, it's not a one-time, one-year revenue.
yeah, absolutely, man. Any final thoughts that you would like to tell the viewers? Anything we didn't touch on?
Yeah, I guess I would say, for me, your one personal growth through doing this is great because it puts you outside of your comfort zone. If you've never made content, it's like really hard when you first start. And then second, I would say I am better in meetings with clients and prospective clients because of this work I'm doing. I am getting better at answering questions, simplifying things. If you're a 60-year-old advisor, I don't know why you'd be watching this, but if you are, like, you probably have all this experience with that side of things. If you're younger, like I am, this counts as reps. So I would say that even outside of everything we've talked about, like driving ROI on the business, I think you are developing yourself and making yourself more refined and more valuable. So I guess that was something that I didn't consider, but I have noticed for myself since starting.
Yeah, 1,000%. I remember you telling me that you were pretty worked up about doing the first video, and it took a long time. You were worried about it, and now I'm not hearing anything like that. And the videos are really well done, and much shorter, like you said before.
Yeah.
You're getting more comfortable with it, so
Yeah.
that's cool. One last thing too, I wanted to touch on before we end this call and jump off here. What are other advisors doing that aren't doing this? Like if someone in your shoes, a lot of people might have told you, like you said before, YouTube was a waste of time. Content is not really, they're not going to be on YouTube, people that you're looking for. So advisors, even younger advisors that aren't doing content, what are they doing? Like, how are they getting meetings?
I don't know. um, I think the like thing I was told when you first launch is like you write a blog. It's like, okay, SEO has been like beat to death. So I don't like it, just seems like an outdated way of going about it, like writing blogs and hosting them on your website. Honestly, I hear more and more about people paying for lead flow. They don't do organic content. They like pay for referral networks. That just seems to be how it works. And you do that and then you just sell to an aggregator or a PE firm is like at it. I don't see as much pure organic, like unique niche branding. And if you do see someone that's doing that, it's usually working really well.
Yeah, I think so too. I think there's a huge gap in the market for advisors specifically and financial services people to come onto YouTube. Maybe it's daunting just because of compliance and stuff like that. And a lot of people do have a little bit of a barrier to get in. Could be one of my guesses, but I don't want to call anyone out or put you on the spot. But I know you did say a lot of advisors are lazy.
Whoa, whoa, did I say that? That's okay. I would just say for anyone that's an advisor, like that is an advantage. I don't think there is a cushier job where you receive the compensation you do for the hours you work in the entire finance industry than there is for financial advisors. That breeds the sort of lethargic attitude of successful advisors. Huge opportunity for anyone that wants to break that mold and get out there and make YouTube videos and do more. It's just to your point. There's just a dearth of like people out there doing it, and you can just fit right into that gap and be successful.
Makes sense. All right, Samuel, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for sitting down with me and doing this interview. It was fantastic. I'm excited to see what the future has in store for us. And to anybody watching, thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.
Thanks, Adam.
Yep. Take care.